While I got the telly, let's compare the sound now. We roll back the steam, roll back the roast. And here's the clean first. Okay, the amp's a little bit driven. Now this is going to bring out a little touch of the presence and kind of bring the sound forward. Okay, crank up the steam a little bit more, and the roast. The roast will always crackle a little bit as you adjust it. Okay, kick on the clip. Let's try it with a little more roast, a little less steam. Okay, it gives it a really great stringy, spanky sound. That's with the steam down especially. What the steam is going to do is it's going to let a little bit more of the highs and clarity through until you start to crank it. That's why I did that Sabbathy Killing Yourself to Live riff a second ago with the steam cranked, so it kind of cools off the single coil sound of the Telecaster and lets you get more of a humbuckerish kind of sound. That was... Okay, if I turn the steam back down, compensate with a little more roast. Okay, you can really hear the twang of the pickups coming through more by keeping the steam down. So you have a really incredible control of sort of your amount of pick attack and spank, I like to call it, with the steam control here. If you're using single coils, you may want to, crank it a little bit more and warm them up, or you can get it real spanky down here. Same thing with the humbuckers. I'll go back to the Les Paul in a second, and you'll hear, you can get a little bit more pick attack and everything out of a Les Paul by keeping the steam down. Brightens it up too, okay? Knobs are pretty straightforward. Roast is like intensity of the gain. Like I said, this will crack a little bit as you adjust it. That is all right that happens because we're directly adjusting the gain of the two transistors with this, all right? And then the steam is going to let more highs through and a little more spank, a little less gain this side, and get a little darker and steamier on this side, all right? So let me plug the Les Paul back in and we'll check out some other settings. All right, back to the Les Paul now. And this was before, again, let's do that heavier riff and bypass. Okay, then we were set up to have it, I was actually using more roast and a little, it's probably something like this. I think I had the clip off too. There, sorry about that. Let me back off the roast and back the steam way off, and we'll hear if we can get a little more stringiness out of pick attack. All right, I might be missing a little bit of gain and fuzz then, so let's try throwing the clip switch on there. Right, so you can get pretty fuzzy like that. Give it a little more steam. Let's try with the steam down and the roast cranked all the way, actually. Put the clip off for now. It's a lot of gain, so that's going to get really... It's going to get a little too overdriven for rhythm sounds probably, but for lead stuff, this sound's going to be... It's got that really great ripping cloth kind of sound. I always like to think of it like that. Just crank up the steam now more, and we're really at the highest gain levels. This is going to sustain forever and or feedback on you. I don't even have the amp in the same room. It's just going to hold forever. Alright, so you got a tremendous amount of gain on tap here. You can hear it just starting to feed back as I hold it. You just crank back on the roast, the steam a little bit, and that'll go away. So that's totally cranked. You're getting a machine that's going to get steaming over here. So let's back it off to more decent levels. Okay, I want a little more pick attack. Okay, I want to just cool it off into a much more rock and roll kind of sound. Take the clipping out, get that dynamic back a little bit. All right, still bridge pickup on the Les Paul. Let's go down to the G tuning. Compare the clean. Brighten it up a little bit. Okay, I'm realizing the amp is pretty well driven right now already. I'm going to back off the gain on the amp a little bit so you can hear what this sounds like coming from more of a clean amp kind of setting. Okay, back clean sound, Strat now. All right, so there's the clean sound. Let's go with for the Strat. You can get it's going to get real plucky if you got the steam down. Put that there. Okay, crank the steam a little bit more, take the roast down, let's take the clip out. A little more mellow. Alright, so very versatile pedal here. Let's take that steam down and crank the roast up now with the Strat. lot of pick attack, a lot of clank, you know. I'll leave the clip off for now. Okay, that warms it up a lot. It's starting to get pretty heavy on the gain, but okay, throw the clip in there, crank that up. Let's take them to about the middle here. Yeah. Kind of sparkle and compression the clip gives. Okay, so this is going to give you a little bit more here in the middle setting, a little bit more highs, a little bit more harmonic distortion, but it's going to compress the dynamics a little bit. That's going to be a little bit more of a, maybe a classic rock kind of sound, a little bit more rock, and if you want to, metal! Or along those lines. So anyway, very versatile pedal. I really dig this one myself. Great for lead, great for rhythm stuff in all kinds of styles. And anyway, like I said, it'll also give you sustain without Alright, and that on a basically clean amp. All right, so hope you enjoyed it. Check out the pedal. Order on JoeDocMusic.com. Thanks for tuning in.